Good morning. Welcome to Tuesday. It is the Morning Woodward Show live right here on Woodward. It's right behind Joey if you guys can't see it. Beautiful morning this morning. Got a nice little sunrise happening. I put it up on our Instagram story, so that looks
You're
nice.
such a basic bitch when you do that.
Thanks, man. had my little frappy and did my sunrise this morning. But no, lots of stuff to talk about on the show today. I mean, we got fights going on at Metro Airport with Spirit that we're gonna commentate like MMA fights because we have Art in here gracing us with his presence.
Why does he got to go down that Spirit always?
We'll talk about
Come
that.
on.
Yeah.
You know the answer
We
to
know
that
why.
I like Spirit though.
Do you?
I've never had issues with Spirit.
All right, so we're gonna get into
and
that.
cheapest plays.
We're gonna get into the top 5 worst coaches in Lions history. So whoever you think is the worst host or worst coach,
Worst host is thick.
Yeah,
you win the award.
I definitely nailed that award. But if you think whoever you think is the worst coach, make sure you put it in the comments, and we'll be addressing our top 5 coming up in the show. Plus, MHSAA football is back, and Joey, let's start out with your news, man.
We got to start it off with some Lions news because it is a big day in Detroit as the Lions are we are introducing our new GM, Brad Holmes, at 4 o'clock.
Yeah, Corey, you gonna be in on that press conference?
You know it.
What you got a question planned for him or anything?
You know what? I have a question planned. I don't want to go ahead and reveal it because we do have other writers watching us.
Oh,
yeah.
They steal your lines?
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? They like Jay-Z stole Biggie's.
Okay. All right. That's fair enough.
And then
Did steal a lot of Biggie's lines.
tomorrow we're expected to announce our new head coach, Dan Campbell. So we'll find out. It seems like it's for sure going to be him.
And the good thing about Dan Campbell getting announced tomorrow, and then we'll find out about DCs and OCs and all that stuff. So we'll have lots of fun Lions talk coming up in the next couple days.
Yay!
And they're doing it the right way. The GM first. I like this.
Yes, finally.
And Calvin Johnson up for election for the Hall of Fame first ballot starting today.
Yeah. The vote is today. I don't have a vote. Corey, did you get a vote?
They played me.
They played me.
But it's coming. It's coming. Put it out there in the universe.
You'll get your vote one day. And if anybody, there's actually Broadwell, the guy that works in this building, doesn't think Calvin Johnson should be in the Hall of Fame at all. Not even first ballot.
Wow.
I know. I didn't even know how to have that conversation with him. I was like, how? He's like, you just think that because you're a Lions fan. It's like, no.
Numbers.
The numbers speak for themselves for the time that he played, that there was not many people in his class and had his consistency. I don't understand that take.
Yeah, I don't understand it either, but we'll talk about that. Joey, what else you got in your news?
We got to start with the noon o'clock game that we had yesterday. So Saturday was a great day for Detroit sports. Red Wings won, Pistons won. Yesterday, not so great of a day. The Red Wings at the noon o'clock game ended up losing 1-2 to the Columbus Blue Jackets. And it all went down in the third period because the first 2 periods we were even, but then the third one. But we got to shout out Bobby Ryan, 3 goals in his first 2 games with us.
Yeah, 2 goals yesterday, 4 shots on goal. He had a nice game.
Very good game. And the Red Wings playing the Blue Jackets again tonight at 7:30 here in Detroit at LCA.
All right.
Then we go to the Pistons. So they had the 3 o'clock game, got delayed until 8 o'clock.
Which was weird.
Still confused by all that.
Yeah, so what happened was they wanted more time for the COVID testing. So I guess that's why they pushed the game back. They weren't organized enough to have the testing done in enough time. But
that scares me.
Those extra 5 hours made all the difference.
That scares me. Well, the Pistons, after beating the Heat by 20 on Saturday, lost by 7.
Ouch.
Yesterday, 6. Lost by 6 to the Heat. Yesterday, the Pistons had a 19-point lead and blew it.
Nice.
Pistons play again tomorrow night against the Hawks. And last news, tonight in college basketball, number 7 Michigan taking on Maryland at 7 p.m. after collecting their first loss of the season on Saturday by nearly 20 points to Minnesota.
That's one of those good losses, though. Like, you need to get smacked around every once again, especially in college basketball, to get you back on track.
But to the Golden Gophers?
Yeah.
I'm going to tell you right now, Dre Haynes, who's from Detroit, whose coaches Maryland, he's one of the assistant coaches. He's gonna have those guys hyped up tonight because Dre is really good with players and they love him and they're gonna fight for him. So Michigan's going to have another tough game tonight because also the Michigan players, they still love Dre and they wish that he was still coaching there.
Right.
So that's
but we got
game.
Jawan, so we straight.
Yeah, we're good. We're good. We got Jawan. And that's your updated news, Joey?
That is your Woodward Sports update today.
Appreciate that. And also appreciate Grow Green because they got dank deals going on right now. Deep discounts up to 80% off your grow gear. So if you're looking to get started or you're already doing it and you need to replace some of your products, Grow Green MI is the place you need to go. GrowGreenMI.com. Make sure you mention Woodward Sports so they'll hook you up with a free t-shirt. But yeah, Grow Green, local business, support them. They've been supporting us, so good people helping good people.
Them dank deals, take advantage of them.
Dank deals, baby.
It's my favorite name.
I know. I love it. So Lions talk, Dan Campbell is going to be introduced tomorrow. We have Holmes getting introduced today. And really, there hasn't been a ton between yesterday and today on Dan Campbell.
Yeah, it's been kind of cold because now the
I love the picture we got up right now of Dan Campbell.
Now that the mystery is gone and all the reports are that he will be the next head coach, I mean, that's just really it. It's kind of cooled off since then.
Right.
Now, like you said, we're going to be looking forward to seeing who's going to be named as the coordinators. And then the big elephant in the room, what's going to happen with Matthew Stafford?
That's the $1 million question right now. And we really haven't heard much from Matthew Stafford on this issue. But that's he's always been close to the vest on everything. But yeah, it's interesting that we haven't gotten a definitive, I want to be here, or, yeah, guys, it's been great. See you in a bit.
I think, and you know what? I give him respect for that because he's always done a pretty good job of not trying to tick the fans off.
Right.
Off the field, he just kind of just stays like, hey, I'm a company guy. Whatever happens, happens.
Right. I mean, people, it's funny, people in our chat right now are bashing
Dogging
this hire,
him.
just dogging Dan Campbell. But of course, it's Adam and Justin, so they're always together on the same issues. This is one of those you can't judge a book, but till it's over, really.
Yeah.
I mean, you can say what you want now, and obviously with the Lions coaching history, odds are you're going to be right if this is a miss. Because we have only, we were talking yesterday, we wanted to do a top 10 list of all-time Lions coaches.
Hardest thing in the entire world to try and do.
There's only two. There's literally two in our lifetime. I mean, you got Wayne Fontes, you got Jim Caldwell, everybody else, meh.
Yeah.
So we decided to go with the top 5 worst coaches in Lions history, and we're going to get into that coming up in about 5 minutes. But, yeah, I mean, I'm not a big fan of judging people before they get here. Look how hyped everybody was for Patricia when he got here. And look how that turned out. I've seen the hype turn out bad, and I've seen people, discredit people, and it turn out the other way, too. So, I don't know. I like to use history a little bit. You got Sean McVay, who was a tight end coach, who obviously went on to do pretty good things. The Rams haven't been able to get over that massive Super Bowl hump, but they are an efficient football team. They are a competitive football team, and they do well every single week.
I struggle with this and really foreseeing what the future is going to look like because anytime a coach comes in and takes over a team, there's so many different factors.
Right.
It's who are you under, the ownership, the leadership, personnel, the players that you got on your team. There's just so many different factors. So I know it is a little bit worrisome because they're both really don't have much experience in the roles that they're in, especially.
Right.
It's just, we got to be there to believe and support them. If this is the decision the organization makes, we got to be there to ride with them and support them.
You just got to give the guy a chance.
For sure.
You can't just throw him out with the bathwater already and be like, this guy sucks.
Yeah, I'm going to give him a chance. I remember me and a few of my friends, we said the same thing about Joe Judge. He was the coach, special teams coordinator and wide receivers coach for the New England Patriots. And everybody's like, how does Joe Judge get the head coaching job of the New York Giants? It looked kind of shaky to begin with, but they ended the season 6-10. It was respectable because in each of those games, they competed. So, it can work.
He had that defense operating by the end of the year. And once again, like you said, it was a special teams coach. That doesn't look sexy on paper. Just like tight end coach does not look sexy on paper.
But these coaches got to get in any position possible for them to grow and get these opportunities.
Yeah, and that kind of leads me into the Eric Bieniemy question. Now the talk about Bieniemy is this is more of this dude getting a raw deal than anything. Not getting the looks that he should be getting. He's done the proper things. He's studied under the right people. But for some reason, he still still can't get that interview. And even though I'm saying that, like, I still think he's going to go to the Texans. But everybody seems to think, like, oh, no one's interviewing Bieniemy anymore. Like, what is going on?
He must be bad at interviewing. That's the only thing that I can come away with. That's it. I mean, I don't know any other way why he would not have a job.
Do you think
right
it's
now.
a minority issue? Because that's some of the rumors I've been hearing on, what the other pundits are saying. Like, listen, if this guy, it's funny how this guy could get a job, but over here, and he's done all the right things. Do you think it has anything to do with race? I know it's a loaded question to throw on you and answer it for the entire race, but in Corey's opinion, how's that?
I'm on the fence. I don't think it has much. I don't think it's really a race thing. I really do think it might be an interview thing because this is his second go around and he's not getting second call back. So I don't know. I really can't gauge it. But honestly, I would not even want the Texans job because if Deshaun Watson's not going to be there, I would just stay the coordinator.
Stay winning.
Stay the coordinator of the Chiefs and wait till next year.
Yeah, we're going to talk about Deshaun Watson because the odds came out about which team he's going to go through next. And I was kind of shocked where the Lions wound up on that list. And we're going to talk about that in about 10 minutes.
That brings up a good point, though, Corey. Like, what would you rather prefer in your coaching career? Would you rather be in the offensive coordinator position on the best team like that? Or would you take that chance, be the head coach at a team that's not that great? Because, I mean, he can always have this opportunity if he's one of the best on the best teams.
But the thing is, also, you got to look at the organization. If it was like a bad team, let me see. Let's say it was the Chargers. I'll take the Chargers job. But the Texans as an organization, they've just shown that they've made bad decision after bad decision. You alienate your star quarterback. Before that, you trade away your top wide receiver who's arguably top 3 wide receivers in the league for pennies on the dollar.
For nothing.
And you get rid of any type of talent to make Deshaun Watson better than what he already is. I'll go into his stats later on, but if the Texans going to the Texans job or staying OC, I would stay the OC, but that's just for that situation. You got to judge them based on case by case.
Well, then what about Saleh? Because obviously Saleh took the Jets job, and that is a trash job. I mean, that is going to be so hard. If he turns that around, then Saleh's the man. But that is a trash job. Gase has left him with 0 in the cupboard. Besides,
it's difference between working with people that are not a smart organization against a team that intentionally does stupid stuff. The Texans have intentionally done stupid stuff.
Right.
So that's why I would just I'd stay. I want to touch that with a 10-foot pole.
Yeah. See, if I'm looking around the league and I got to pick my choice, I'm not taking the Jets job. Like that's to me, it's very similar to the Texans. Mismanagement all over the place. Like no track record of ever winning at any capacity. You don't have a great defense. Your quarterback is a question mark at best. You don't know if you want to keep Sam Darnold or not. Like there's a lot of question marks going. But the only thing is, you're in New York, so
that's what I was about to say. I mean, New York outweighs everything.
Yeah, it's not hot-ass Houston. Like, you're in New York. So if you make that a winner, you're never going to pay for a meal again in your life.
Nope.
So, yeah, that's some of the head coach talks going on in the NFL right now. And then we want to get into the top 5 worst coaches in Lions history. Because now that we assume Dan Campbell is the man, where do you think he's going to wind up in the hierarchy of Lions coaches? Do you think he's going to be one of the top 5, or do you think he's going to be one of the bottom 5, or somewhere in the middle?
All he's got to do is be at 500 or better. And I know that's asking a lot of a Lions coach.
Right.
But when you realize, going through this list was really eye-opening because you start to, see who is on the top of your list, and there's really not that many names.
Right. So start thinking about your list. Corey, you got your list?
Oh, I got my list right.
All right, everybody watching right now, think about the top 5 worst coaches in Detroit Lions history. We're going to take a 30-second break, and we'll be right back to cover all of them.
I'm looking to bring on another HVAC tech right now.
We are recruiting 5 to 10 techs a month.
We're looking to grow and expand. Every new tech we hire is from Northwestern Tech.
The hands-on training is fantastic.
They're always my first call.
We love hiring Northwestern Tech grads.
They come out trained and ready to work.
Our program is only 10 and a half months, and our next classes are starting soon. So why wait?
I'm looking to hire
Hire a graduate
of Northwestern Tech. Northwestern Tech.
Northwestern Tech.
Northwestern Tech.
Man, we're already getting a ton of comments about the worst coach in Lions history. So thank you guys for commenting on Facebook, on Twitter, and on YouTube this morning. It's the Morning Woodward Show. And this morning, since we couldn't come up with a top 10 list of greatest Lions coaches of all time, we decided to go the other route. And this is our top 5 lists of worst Lions coaches of all time. Corey, you have a little different list than I do, I think. I haven't seen your list, but let's start out. We can start out with my number 5 and go to your number 5 if you want.
Okay. So, my number 5, Steve Mariucci.
Ooh, okay, Mooch. Okay.
Now, I have to preface this by saying I didn't really like this. I just really went off of his percentage, and I had to factor that in because I still think Mooch got a raw deal, especially with the team he was handed. But in his years with the Lions coach, 15 and 28, 35% winning percentage. They finished 4th, then 3rd in the NFC North. And his offense was just bad. Joey freaking Harrington.
I got a signed jersey at the crib right now.
I got a signed piano.
Do you really?
No.
I was like,
he
damn.
only threw for 3,000 yards one time during that tenure. His wide receivers that during his tenure were Ty Streets, Bill Schroeder, Oz Hakeem.
Schroeder put up numbers. I don't care what you say about Billy Schroeder. Schroeder put up numbers.
They never had the only consistent Pro Bowler they had was on their defense was in Shaun Rogers. The team just did not have a lot of talent. They did have Kevin Jones productive that one magical season, and then the injuries happened to him, and it went down the drain. But I didn't want to put him there, but I had to.
Well, it's funny you put him there. I got him a little higher on my list than you do. So, number 5.
He was a little bit better than we thought.
You got him better than we thought. At number 5 for me, personally, I put Darryl Rogers. Now, this was kind of before all of our lifetimes. Let's see, when was Darryl Rogers? It was 1985 through 88. Obviously, this is the pictures we're getting of Rodgers, and this is what we're talking about with this guy. He was 18 and 40. And when he took over for Monty Clark, who actually had a pretty decent, he was 42% winning percentage. Not great by any means, but then you dip down to Darryl Rogers, about 31%. And my favorite part about Darryl Rogers is he had this one quote. Do you remember the quote?
Damn it, don't say it. You go ahead. I got it.
It's a great quote.
What does a coach have to do around here to get fired, was his quote. That's how bad this guy was.
He gave up on himself.
Right. He's like, listen, I suck, guys. How much more do I have to suck for the Lions to fire me?
I wish I reached that point at some point in my life. That's such a legendary way to go out.
Right. Just call out the organization. Listen, what else do I got to do? I haven't won a game in 3 years, and y'all still keeping me on the payroll. So that's my number 5 is Darryl Rogers. And if you haven't seen that quote, you can look it up. It's hilarious that a head coach would even say that. Could you imagine a head coach saying that today?
That would be with social media. Oh, man. He would probably be fired immediately.
Right. Yeah. No, done. You see it with players. You saw it with James Harden. Hey, what do I have to do to get traded? It's nothing, man. You're traded. Gone. Get the hell out of here. And then at number 4, I had Mariucci. I had Mooch sitting at number 4. This sexy man right here. I was very excited when the Lions got Mariucci. Oh, man, he's bringing the West Coast offense here. This is going to be fun football. And it just never, ever worked out. I mean, it was an Iron Mountain guy. He's boys with Tom Izzo. This could be such good things for the state.
He was one of us, we thought.
It kind of reminded me of the Saleh situation. Coming from San Francisco, hometown boy. We were all going to fall in love with him. And Mooch, when he got here, it just.
Yeah. I actually had Darryl Rogers a little bit higher. I had him at 3.
Okay, you had 3?
Yeah.
Who'd you have at 4?
At 4, At 4, take that back. I'm sorry. I had Darryl Rodgers at 4.
Okay,
Sorry.
we just
switch
switched
spots.
spots.
Yeah, my bad.
That's fair enough.
Yeah.
So at number 3, this is where it gets interesting because it depends on how you define worst coach. Because if we're just going purely on record, Marinelli is clearly the worst coach, right? Actually, Morningwig is clearly the worst coach, but Marinelli had the worst year. 0-16.
Right.
Kinda, you are a bad coach if you go 0-16, right? I mean, I think we can all agree.
Safe to say. You don't win a single game.
But that being said, I have Marinelli number 3 on my list. He was 10-38 when he was here, 20% winning percentage. This was from 2006 to 2008. The only thing I remember out of his whole tenure, first of all, was the 0-16, and then the sharp shovel and the strong will. Like after every game, they get their ass kicked, like pounded into the ground. Well, we just need a sharp shovel and a strong will, and we'll win. And that works when you're a defensive line coach. That doesn't work when you're trying to run the whole damn team and make calls and build a culture. Like, I liked it. He reminded me of like my dad type personality, just old football guy, clipboard tucked in the back of his pants, just out there doing football shit, but it just did not translate for the Lions. He could not motivate those men.
That's what's crazy though, is because you see what he did in Tampa Bay. And then we are excited, like, all right, we get this dude in Detroit.
Right.
Like, is it just a Lions curse at this point? There's so many coaches that had decent careers, if not great careers, before coming to Detroit. And then we see what happens. I didn't think he even had more than 7 wins in any of his seasons with us.
Right.
No.
No, he did not have a good run. What did you think of Marinelli when he was here?
I didn't have any thoughts. I'm just like, okay, just another guy with the last name M who's going to be the head coach. I mean, he looked like he was in over his head, as did a few of their other choices that came before him. He was the defense was all right. It was all right, but
it was supposed to be our strength with our defensive line coach as our head coach, but
21% winning percentage.
Isn't that awful, dude?
That's just, I didn't have a thought. I was just like, all right, I'm not going to enjoy football. That's just it. That was my thought of him. I'm not going to enjoy football as long as he's the head coach.
That 0-16 year is the first time I ever missed a Lions game. First time ever. Like, I went out to eat and I'm like, oh shit, it's Sunday at 1:00. The Lions are playing. Like, I completely put that team out of my head for several games during that season. I watched the last game because I was hoping they'd pull out the win against the Packers, but they did not.
I applaud you for taking care of your mental health as opposed to watching that.
Seriously, it takes a brave man to do that.
I remember being at Dugan's on Woodward and like, oh shit, are the Lions on? Oh my God, it's Sunday at 1:00. The Lions are on. And the first time in my life that I had ever experienced that. Normally it's like clockwork for me. It's like my period. Every week, Sunday at 1:00, I have it.
Where I was in a different state, I was just praying every single game, watching, just please get that one win.
Right.
I don't want to go 0-16. Please don't do this.
And they did not get that.
They did not do
win.
that. So I look back and I'm like, man, I wasted 16 weeks. I could have been doing so much more.
So where do you have number 3? Who do you got at number 3? Do you have Marinelli?
I'm going to shock everybody with number 3.
Uh-oh. You say Wayne Fonts?
Patricia.
Wow.
Ooh.
Wow.
Put Patricia number 3. My number 1, I have a really good reason for it.
Okay.
You going off of numbers, aren't you?
No, not just off numbers. Because if I was going to go off numbers, I would have actually had Mariucci a little bit higher.
Okay.
Yeah.
It was really hard to put Patricia at 3 because I really do think I try to take my emotion out of it, because if I go feelings, I feel that he's the worst coach we've ever had if I just go strictly feelings.
Yeah.
But the one thing I did like about Patricia was that he did have fire. The thing is that it backfired. It backfired against him. He tried to be the smartest guy in the room, and it was to his own detriment that he alienated his players, he alienated the organization, and it was just...
Look at this guy. I don't even like having his picture behind me. Get this guy off the screen.
And another thing that I did not like just off of personally is just that...
You didn't have to. All right, I was just joking.
No, get him off. But
don't put him on our screen ever again.
Just off of personally, just another thing I did not like is that, all the reporters, they come to the press conferences and stuff on time, and this guy just...
Right.
comes in all late and just
Like
acts
you over
a-
here winning too much and you're too busy leading your team to victory.
and acts like a total Richard to everybody. So
You could say dick, man.
it's
Okay,
not
I'll
my
say dick for you. He was a dick. There you go.
big one.
Big one. Yeah.
So yeah, that's why I just had him at 3. This
right.
one I did go off for winning. For him, I did put him at there just because of winning percentage.
Who do you have at your number 2 spot?
Rod
Marinelli?
Rod Marinelli.
Okay. I mean, we just kind of discussed why
Yeah.
he was at my number 3.
But
But do you
outside-
think he was worse than Patricia?
I do.
Okay.
I just think that I think that Patricia had a great idea of what he wanted to do. His execution was just all wrong. Marinelli was just
Clueless?
clueless.
But
and
when
in
you
over
talk
his
about
head.
attitude, though, you talk about attitude, leadership as a coach. Who do you place above? It's a really hard question, but who do you place above each other?
I don't know. That's like fighting hairs when you get to that.
I mean, we have seen Marinelli go on with his coaching career and do well again. He's with, Dallas right now,
Yeah.
and their defensive line coach, and he's been with them a couple years. Do you think we're going to see Patricia get another shot anywhere again, period, at any level, any position? You think he'll sign on as a DC somewhere?
My thought was he would probably take a year or two to cool off, and then might find his way in the back door of the Patriots organization again. They bring their guys back if they get fired. So
Okay.
that was my whole idea of it. But
So
He's
that was
gonna
your
be a
number
little
2?
league coach. That's the best he's getting.
The Little League coach?
Little league coach.
I wouldn't even want him coaching Little League, man.
Yeah.
Like, the way he talks to people and demeans people, like, that's just not how you create a winning culture, period. Anything that you do in life. Like,
But I mean, as a kids coach, though, just saying, "Oh, I was with the Lions, I was in the NFL."
Right.
That's cool to the kids.
Right. Oh,
That's it for the kids.
yeah, these kids don't give a shit.
They don't care about what you
If
won or
like,
not.
When I was a kid and I met athletes, if they sucked, I didn't care about them.
No.
Like, it was like, oh, you're a Lion. I've never heard of you, so I don't care. Like, when you're a kid, you only care about the stars and you only care about the big names. Like, I wouldn't care that Matt Patricia coached the Lions.
I'll never forget. I had a pair of brand new football cleats when I was like 8 years old or so. I was really, really young, and there was some high school player that was like the best high school player in the state who I met at a practice. He came because he knew my coach. I had him signing my new cleats. And my parents looked at me and were like, well, who is this? And it was just some random ass kid.
Yeah, I remember because I played for the Walled Lake Braves for Little League football, and they would have like the banquets afterwards. And one year, Todd Collins and Walter Smith, I don't know if you remember them, they played at Michigan. They showed up. And Todd Collins was the quarterback at Michigan, but we wanted like Charles Woodson. Like we were like, oh man,
who's this bum?
Michigan players are coming. And Todd Collins, he ended up going pro. He did okay, but damn, like we wanted the big dogs. Not that we didn't appreciate the Michigan players and their effort. It's just if you don't know them, you don't know them.
Right.
And I didn't know who Walter Smith was.
Now you do.
I still have that autographed football though in my basement.
Heck yeah, you do.
Todd Collins and Walter Smith. I'll sell it to you for free. Overpay. So that was your number 2. See, my number 2 goes to the wonderful, the sex symbol of Detroit. That's what he was known as while he was here, Mr. Marty Morningwig. Look at that man.
Look at him.
Look at that man.
Like all I see on that is in 2002 against the Bears saying that he wants to defer in this overtime coin toss.
Yes.
That's all I see in his.
And where does his neck start and his chin begin? Like, these are all questions I have about Marty Morningwig.
a lot of questions.
These are all things I need to know. Why do you take the wind when you're on the road?
Look at
Why?
that! Look at that sexy Motorola headpiece.
Ooh, baby. Man, I don't know. No wonder they couldn't win. Distracted with that sexy beast on the sideline. So Marty Morningwig, he was 0-1-0-2 here with the Lions. 5-27 was his record. 5-27. 15% winning percentage. And just not only that, he took over for a decent team, and that's what drives me nuts. Like, Bobby Ross was before him, and Bobby Ross was okay. He was about a 500 coach. But then Gary Moeller took over for, I think it was 7 games. And Gary Moeller went, what did he go? Let me see here. He went 4-3 in those 7 games. So Gary Moeller, and everybody thought Moeller was going to be our next guy. Like, Moeller's a given for the next coach. But oh no, here comes Matt Millen. I want to bring Morningwig in, and boom, boom, boom. 5
the
wins,
dynamite.
3 years later, and this mug. That's what the Lions were left with. Like, I almost put him number 1 on my list. He was almost number because of what he took over, what he turned it into, and what he looks like.
And that's why he's my number 1.
He's your number 1?
Okay.
He's my number 1. I mean, under him in the then NFC Central, finished 5th. Then it turned into the NFC North, finished 4th. Finished last place. Just put it out there. He finished last place his entire time here. How do you only have 5 wins in 2 seasons? Like, that's pretty bad. Now, when I said Rod Marinelli didn't belong on the field, this guy totally did not belong on the sidelines. And then it's his fault and Matt Miller's fault for trotting this guy out like he's going to be the savior of the post Barry Sanders era, and it was just a complete clusterfuck.
Woo, Corey!
Corey going in.
Corey wouldn't say dick, but you rolled that out, huh?
Richard.
I love it.
Hitting him with the Richard.
Sometimes it's just the only way to describe it.
Good, man. Use those words as weapons.
Right.
Wah, wah, wah. If you use them too much, they lose their meaning.
That one came from the soul on that one.
I mean, yeah, we're splitting hairs here. Who's the worst coach? But like Marty Morningwig, what he did not accomplish in Detroit will live on for many years.
Yeah, that's epic.
But he did go on to become, once again, another decent offensive coordinator for the Eagles after he left us. And same thing kind of with Jim Schwartz. Like the Eagles have cashed in on the Lions. I don't want to say throwaways for the past, 5-10 years.
They must have the same relationship that the Pistons have with the Bucks, you know? They just go back and forth between personnel and players.
And just keep sending them our bad players. Just keep sending it to them. So number 1 on your list was Marty Morningwig?
Yeah.
That I have a rough time arguing with that, but I'm going to.
This is just recent feelings, though. This is why we're giving the response we're giving for the worst coach in Lions history.
Yeah, it's not just recent feelings. It's when you go back and look at what this man inherited, a perennial playoff team. We could say that, right? They made the playoffs 2 out of 4 years under Jim Caldwell. They had a winning culture about them. Jim Caldwell got fired with a winning record because a crappy GM wanted to reward his boy with a job. So he tore down everything that it took to build that up, from the 0-16 team to Jim Schwartz, like just to get us back to competitive. And he just tore it all down, man. Just tore every bit of it down. He was 13-28-1, a 32% winning percentage, which is better than Morningwig. But to me, what he did with a strong team and turned it into a weak team, he's got to be the worst coach in Lions history.
And you know what? That's also another one of those things. If somebody says Matt Patricia, can you really argue it? Because outside of what the stats that you just gave, he did one thing that you can never do, and me and my cousin talk about all the time. You can never embarrass the Fords. You can be a losing coach. You can't be an embarrassment. Matt Patricia was an embarrassment. And when you have former players openly cheer publicly about the dismissal of a coach and a GM, that says a lot. I've never seen that ever.
In NFL history like that.
I've never seen it.
You don't.
In that many. You might see 1 or 2 players be like, hey, you know, it's his time to go. You don't see 6 and 7.
Right.
But it's like when one person like starts snitching or telling, and then everybody else starts coming out, you know that there's a problem. It just took one person. So in the past, you'll see one player coming out bashed on their coach,
right,
and that's it.
Yep.
But with excuse me, with what bounced back from Patricia, it's just no excuse.
No, and you saw it you saw guys sending like career death messages too, like, because he was doing that to other players like Ashawn Robinson, telling them, I'm going to end your career and stuff like that.
Who says that?
You don't say that to players. And then you saw the comeuppance on the end. It was like, everybody just don't let the door hit you, fat man. Get out the league, buddy. You treat everybody like that. It doesn't matter how successful you were making a Malcolm Butler call when you were the defensive coordinator. Nobody cares about that. What we care about is what you're putting on the field and how you're treating people. And he probably would have gotten more leniency if he was a good guy.
And I think that is the reason why that might be the one knock on him for not getting another job. Not just because of his record, because like we've seen bad Lions coaches go on to get other jobs.
Right.
How he lacked being a leader of men. That's going to come back because, again, they did not hesitate to dump on this guy.
No.
And when you talk about like interviewing with future coaches and getting that next opportunity, you can explain yourself as to why you didn't win a game.
Right.
Why you didn't win a lot of games. You
Right.
can explain yourself. You can still get opportunities, but you can't explain yourself for your past and your leadership. You can't.
Exactly. I mean, look at Bill Belichick. Like when he was with the Browns, he did okay. He didn't. Obviously, he wasn't the Patriots coach, or the Browns would have never let him go. But he was able to find another job because he was able to explain his X's and O's. And that's a great point, Joey. Is that because of his decorum, he's cost himself jobs down the road.
Yeah. Because
And-
there's coaches that have had way worse records that still had opportunities.
Oh yeah. I mean,
But
we
you-
interviewed them. We interviewed all of them. Joey, talk about how awesome it is to be able to see right now.
You know, we're talking about how awful all of these coaches, just their vision and everything that they did for the organization was. So let's just talk about great vision, and that is the vision that Stick and I got, because we got
Supervision!
and 2015 vision.
Yeah.
It's our superpower. So you got to call right now at 1-800-398-EYES. Schedule a free evaluation. Just go call, see if you're a candidate and what this looks like for you, because it's the best thing we did.
Yeah, if you've ever considered LASIK, just do it. Like I'll attest to this for the rest of my life. I love every moment of being able to read that Jack's Car Wash sign like 400 yards away right now.
Literally.
I love it. So yeah, Yaldo Eye Center, thank you guys for what you did for me. I
Give him that
appreciate
check mark. Just do it.
Yeah, just do it. So quarterbacks. That's been the talk, what Matthew Stafford's going to do, what the Lions are going to do with Matthew Stafford. And we got a little bit of drama going on in Houston that we touched on earlier with our boy, Deshaun Watson. They released the odds of what team Deshaun Watson may wind up at. And the Lions are pretty high on this list.
I love it.
You do?
I love it.
You would like that trade?
In a heartbeat. What? Nah, you know what? I'm not going to put his Twitter handle out there, but,
Oh.
you know, I talked about this yesterday, and I said, you know, the Lions need to go ahead and trade, you know, make a move for him. And somebody said he's garbage. And I'm like, who? Deshaun Watson. And I'm like, anybody who thinks that Deshaun Watson is garbage, you do not watch enough football. That's just it.
Yeah, I mean, he led the league in passing this year after they got rid of his best wide receiver and on a crap team where his teammates are apologizing to him for wasting a year of his career.
Who says that? What? I've never heard a teammate say, I apologize for wasting a year of your
People
career.
that see his talent.
Right? Yeah,
That's
J.J.
it.
Watt saying that is massive.
Especially a guy like J.J. Watt,
Right.
too. Because he is the most honorable of humans in the NFL. Like, he really is. And for him to say that, but when you look at, I mean, I love Matthew Stafford. I want him to stay in Detroit so
Yes.
bad. But I'm looking at the future for the Lions. And when you see Deshaun Watson, probably 25 or 26 years old, and the career he still has ahead of him, that's when you start thinking, like, this actually does not sound so bad.
I mean, I got some stats for you. Like last year, we can go off his last year's stats real quick. 4,823 passing yards.
Number one in the league.
33 touchdowns to 7 picks. Completed 70% of his passes with a 112.4 quarterback rating. Outside of his rookie year, which he completed 61% of his passes, he has not completed less than 67%. He's only had one season last year with double-digit picks when he threw 12, and that's still it's not too many, but you know,
Right.
you call the Texans and you see what they want, whether it's too much or not. You know, you have that discussion on the phone call, but you see what's available for him, because Matthew Stafford, as much as I love the guy, what he's done for the community and arguably the greatest Lions QB ever, it's time to move on. I believe it's time to move on, and as they're rebuilding this organization, it's time to go ahead and get your quarterback for the next decade. Deshaun Watson will be the quarterback for the next decade and maybe a couple of years after that.
See, I agree with you that it's time to move on if you can get a Deshaun Watson.
Yeah.
That's the only, like, I don't think it's just time to move on in general. I think it's time to move on if we can get that transcendent next quarterback that, like you said, it will be here for the next 10 years. If we're just doing it for the sake of doing moving on from Stafford, and then we bring in, we promote Chase Daniel to starter or whatever, I will lose my mind if that happens. Like, unless we have a clear upgrade or a clear path, we don't upgrade Matthew Stafford at this point. But Deshaun Watson, I would not be sad at that.
You just don't, like you said, you don't get rid of your best quarterback in your team's history just to get rid of him. There's got to be a clear plan in place of why you're getting rid of him, and that way you can appease the fan base. Because if you just get rid of Stafford for just like Joe Blow, it's gonna be mutiny.
Especially when you got a new GM, a new coach, and then a new quarterback all at the same time. Like, we don't need that.
Right.
At least let have Matthew Stafford lead the team to somewhat of victory.
And you look at the Lions' stats from this year, they were 8th overall in passing. I mean, they were 30th in rushing, but 8th in passing. So the offense isn't quite shattered. I mean, there's something there to say with Bevel and Stafford. So, I don't mind if they keep Bevel as OC.
And one thing I want to say about Watson is a lot of people are saying, we don't want to mortgage the Lions' future to go get him. Look at our history. What the hell do we have to lose? I would love for the Lions to be bold and do something shocking for once, because what are we being scared as hell for as Lions fans? They have not done anything outside of the box. This would be something that would at least get fans riled up, like, okay, they're trying to make moves. Instead of just being complacent, do something bold.
Yeah, like the biggest move I can remember the Lions making in my lifetime is trading Roy Williams for those 2 first-round draft picks. Like, outside of that, I don't feel the Lions have ever, like, gotten over on a trade with anybody.
Yeah, so just pick up the damn phone and call. See what you can get.
All right, well, the odds are out about where Deshaun Watson is going to go. So let's play a little guessing game here. The Lions are in the top 10. I will give you that. So I don't want to go through all 32 teams. But who else do you think is in the top 10, and where do you think that the Lions are in the top 10? Who else? We'll start with Joey. Name me a team.
I'm going to have to go with the Jets are the only other team, but I mean, they're going with they're gonna get what's his name?
You think they're gonna draft a quarterback at 2?
Yeah. Well, I feel like they're gonna have to.
The Jets are the top favorite to land him. You were right with that. They're 2-1 odds right now, and that goes back to the Sam Darnold. They don't know what they're doing with that guy.
Yes.
They have the number 2 overall pick. They could take Justin Fields, or they could reach for Zach Wilson, which we've seen.
This would be a much smarter move for the organization, without a doubt.
They need a franchise quarterback, but they brought in a defensive coach. So is that really going to be his focus right off the rip, is getting his franchise quarterback? That's a good question. All right, so Joey, you nailed the number 1 team. Who else do you think is on this list, Corey?
I mean, it's not even really a guess. Everybody's been talking about it. I know the Dolphins got to be high on that list.
Dolphins are the number 2 team, 3-1 odds to land him, which I love that. I think it's a funny trade if they trade Deshaun Watson for Tua and some clout. Like, that's
and some clout.
It's just weird to me how you draft a guy that high. This is our franchise moving forward. This is the guy. This is the next year. Oh, there's something better. Oh yeah. Get out of here. We don't want you anymore. And they did it with Josh Rosen too. Like, it's been a trend kind of with quarterbacks lately.
Damn. That's all I got to say about that.
All right, who do you guys think, who else is on this list? So who do we get?
We got 1 and 3?
So you got the Jets and you got the Dolphins. You guys got 1 and 2. Who do you think is number 3 or 3 through 10 on this list?
I'm going to go with Saints, because no more Drew Brees.
The Saints are not in the top 10. They're actually number 12. They're 15-1 odds.
Huh?
They got Jameis Winston, man.
Yeah.
I don't see
you saw that ball he threw?
And you saw Drew Brees, like, look at him during the game and go, this is yours next year. Like, you literally saw that. So
yeah.
I think the Saints are going to stick with Jameis.
I'm going to go super bold here, only because of a report I read yesterday. Are the Rams in there?
The Rams are not. They're a little further down the list. They're like 15 or 16.
Okay.
Lions at 3?
The Lions are at number 10. The Lions are sitting at 10. We're 12-1 odds to land Deshaun Watson.
Okay.
The teams in front of us are the Carolina Panthers, also 12-1 odds. Philadelphia Eagles. That would be effing scary. That's 10-1 odds. The Patriots. That would also be kind of scary. What do you think of that? I mean, we saw.
I don't
I would
think
put the Lions
I don't
above.
think the Patriots would be a good fit for him. I really don't.
Yeah, we saw what Belichick did, like with a mobile quarterback this year, quote unquote mobile quarterback with Cam. You would think he'd do similar with Deshaun Watson, even though Deshaun Watson's heads and tails above Cam at this point in his career.
Yeah, they need the Patriots need to work on that old line too, because Cam is not his old self, but he was getting lit up.
Yeah. The Indianapolis Colts they're 8-1 odds.
That's
to
what I was
me,
gonna say.
this would make them a Super Bowl team.
That's who I really should have said instead of the Rams. That's what I was really thinking. Like, damn, I should have said them because Phillip Rivers, it's done.
He done. Right.
done.
It's done. Yeah, that experiment, it got them through the year, but that's not what they're building around.
Out of all those teams, I think I would like the Colts for him.
Okay.
Colts would be bad.
The Denver Broncos, 5-1 odds to land him, number 4 on this list, which apparently they don't love Drew Lock anymore. I mean, he was the hype before the season, like, oh, this is our guy, top 10 quarterback. You know, we got him Jerry Jeudy, we got him KJ Hamler, we got him all types of weapons. He's got Noah Fant.
Bailing on him real quick.
Hey, Deshaun Watson's in play. I'd bail on him too.
Yeah. I mean, I guess that's the point of all this. Like,
Yeah.
It's not like a no-name dude. It's
Right.
it's Deshaun Watson.
And then the team that scares the hell out of me, and I feel like I've already seen him in this uniform,
Don't say it.
haunting my dreams,
Don't say it. Don't say
haunting
it.
my nightmares.
Don't say it.
Deshaun Watson goes to the Bears.
No, he would
4-1 odds right now.
So basically, after, I'm not trying to say he's retiring anytime soon, but basically after dealing with torture from Rodgers, then we'll have to switch teams and get tortured by the Bears.
Yeah,
and Watson.
And I mean, the thing with the Bears is they've always had this great defense, but they've always had a crappy quarterback, and that's been what, it's kept them the Bears. You give them Deshaun Watson, and whew, I mean, they went to the Super Bowl with Rex Grossman. What are they going to do with Deshaun Watson?
Be
Watson.
unstoppable.
Win.
Yeah, I don't. Hopefully, Matt Nagy would screw that up.
Hope.
That would be my hope.
How do you screw that up? if he, you know what? If he screws that up, fire him. But I don't think he would screw that up. It's almost, I want to say it's impossible, but he'd have to intentionally try to screw that up.
They probably should have fired Matt Nagy this year, but
Yeah.
if he gets Deshaun Watson, man, that's like somebody screwing up and like you cheat on your wife and she gets you a gift. Like, it just makes no sense.
Reward him.
Right. Hey, baby, I smashed a chick on the side. Oh, honey, here you go. Here's a better player for you. Like, what? All right, we'll keep losing.
Let's do that again.
Like, it just makes absolutely no sense. So those are the odds of where Deshaun Watson is going to wind up. Lions sitting at number 10, 12-1 odds.
I wonder why Lions aren't higher on that list.
Aren't higher?
Yeah.
I just don't think anybody knows what the hell the Lions want to do.
Yeah.
That and we have Stafford still, so I think that might have played into some of the odds because we've never talked about. Well, the Lions have never talked about what's actually going to happen with Stafford because Sheila Ford said that's up to the coach.
Right.
So once the coach gets in and we hear about little inklings of what they may do with Stafford, then if they're talking about moving on, maybe the Lions' odds rise a little bit higher.
Right. Well, who do you think has the worst odds? Let's do this. So let's do the bottom 3 teams.
Well, I mean,
Teams that absolutely don't need a quarterback. Who would you list?
Chiefs.
I mean, Chiefs.
All right.
Bills.
Bills are on there.
And
Honestly, all the remaining teams got
Bucks.
pretty good quarterbacks.
Bucks are 50-1. Cardinals are 70-1. Ravens are 70-1. Bills are 100-1.
Damn.
The Seahawks are 100-1.
Oh, Seahawks,
The
yeah.
Packers are 200-1. That's actually surprising to me, though. Because if I'm the Packers and I drafted Jordan Love this year and I know Aaron Rodgers is kind of on his way out, I maybe call him and say, hey, we got Jordan Love over here. I'd love to have Watson in Green Bay. What do we got to do to make this happen? Could you imagine them with Watson and Rodgers on the team?
wait a minute. Wait a minute. Who's going to come off the bench?
That's what I'm saying.
Right.
But honestly, Green Bay is in a weird position because they're married to Aaron Rodgers because he won't go. He just doesn't expire. Like, he's always good.
He's still at his prime.
48 touchdowns this year. Like, honestly, I think they wanted him to come out and have like a 30 touchdown year so they could move on.
It's just they're expecting it.
Right.
Or you could just be bold and do something that's going to sound ultra stupid. do what was that? Wasn't that like a Herschel Walker type trade?
Ooh,
get rid of Rodgers for Deshaun Watson
picks.
and take the whole farm from the Texans.
I mean, I'm just shocked Green Bay is that low because Aaron Rodgers is on his way out. Pat Mahomes, Pat Mahomes, he ain't going anywhere.
Pat Mahomes ain't going nowhere until probably like 2036 or something like that.
And you don't got to worry about that team. They got Chad Henne.
Right.
Like, they're straight.
Yeah, they got Chad Henne at the quarterback. That's a good option.
Yeah.
So there was a massive fight yesterday at Detroit Metro Airport. And we got the footage, and we will talk about that coming up next. We're going to take a quick 30-second break. We'll be right back. I love those little commercials.
So good.
Art getting his face smashed into the glass like that.
Rumor has it that Art's face is still on the glass.
Yeah, it's almost like you wear makeup, Art. Like, how did you leave that much like wax or what did you leave on the glass when McCarthy
I'm just
checked
naturally oily. I'm sorry, I'm Italian.
You're just oily? Does that help when
I'm
you
just
wrestle?
oily. Yeah, naked preferably.
He's like slippery.
Art, so good to have you with us this morning. Thank you so much for being here.
Thank you, sweetheart.
Yeah, love you, man. So, Spirit Airlines.
Detroit.
How else do we start this?
So Detroit made the maps. Let's start off with that.
Yeah, Detroit's on the news.
All right.
We did
yeah.
it. We did it, y'all.
We made it.
We here. If anybody's ever flown Spirit Airline, you know exactly what
It's
type
amazing.
what type of shit show that it is.
It's amazing.
It's amazing if you don't have any, like if you have your wallet on you and you're willing to travel somewhere, it's where you go. Get that $9 flight, go to Fort Lauderdale with nothing on you and buy crappy clothes down there and leave them.
Have a backpack, exactly.
Right.
I'm that kind of traveler though, so it's like you go to Vegas, hop on a quick Spirit flight, bam, no issues, great service. Thank you, Spirit. Go ahead.
Yeah.
I'm the only person in the world that likes Spirit.
I don't mind.
I don't love Spirit. I
like Spirit for what it is. Like, I know what I'm getting.
Right.
If it's just somewhere like a day trip or just
It's like going to a dive bar. Like, I'm not expecting frills. It's like, I expect this to smell. I expect the floors to be sticky. I expect a kid kicking my seat. Like, I know this is going to suck, but I'm going to be in Miami in 3 hours and we'll be okay. Like, that's how I feel about Spirit.
I just expect it to land. That's all. That's all.
Man, you got high expectations. So yesterday there was a beautiful young couple, very polite, very well maintained. You could tell they're regal people. They got in a fight because they had to pay more to put their bag on the flight. It was like $35 at the gate or $100 if you got there and it was too big, and they had to pay $100 to check their bag.
Damn.
Well, this did not go well, and Art, if you want to play this video, we'll just sit back, let everybody watch what's going on.
Oh, I got
But
something
mind
for
you, look for the baby in this, because there's a baby in this.
No.
Look for the people who wind up on the ground in this. Look at the men, the women, the workers. This happened at Metro Detroit Airport yesterday.
All aboard Flight 646 to Atlanta.
Oh my God. Ooh. This is so fucking ghetto. Where's the baby?
Shoes is coming off.
Oh, man.
Who's that person just sitting there on the far left? You see them?
I just like the person recording. Like, World Star! Yelling World Star.
That's low.
Man, the ground technique is just all wrong. Come on, Art. You got on this, Art.
But just look at the homie just sitting patiently in their seat. Front row.
That airline worker ain't want no more smoke. Like, he just backed up.
First, take off my coat.
Oh, crap.
She got a big old booty too.
Corey over here like, hey, girl. I'll fly you anywhere on Spirit.
Hey.
Man. Poor Spirit workers just trying to do their job.
Come on, cause we gotta go. Right, you late as hell.
So, needless to say, some people got arrested. One guy went to the hospital. Another guy got poked in the eye.
Oh.
Poked in the eye. Like, what kind of gangster shit is that?
That's why you should have been wearing that face shield.
I would rather get. I'm gonna be honest. I would rather get it punched than poked in the eye. That is. I've been poked in the eye before. That shit is the worst.
Anything to the eye is horrible.
So Spirit. Obviously, you know what you're getting into when you fly Spirit.
First off, I'm not saying I'm the super person that flies, but I've flown enough. When you fly Spirit, you already know what the hell the deal with the bags is. You buy the bags. You buy the bags when you buy the flight, or you just carry a backpack because you know when you get to the gate, you're about to pay $1,000 per bag. That's why the flights are so cheap, because they get over on your dumb asses because you don't want to spend the money before the flight. What the hell? Why are you gonna get mad at the gate workers?
The best part is, like, you got. Like, this is it. By the end of it, you're paying more than a Delta flight because you got all these little upgrades. You want peanuts? That's $72.
You want water? That's $8.
Right. Like,
They probably don't travel. That's got to be the thing. Is like they probably don't travel much, so they're over here like, oh wow, it's the cheapest flight. Let me book this.
He's like, girl, I got you for your birthday. I got you this $9 flight on Spirit. Just bring whatever you want, baby. Bags are on me. I got you. And
it's the Audi.
She brought a big ass bag, 100-pound boy probably.
It's the Audi of airlines.
Yes.
Has anybody else had a bad Spirit experience? Art, you have? What happened with your Spirit? Yeah, tell us stories, Art.
My dad and I went to Vegas one time, and he's like, I got our flights for $178 a flight round trip. And I was like, that's great. And we get on the flight, and I thought we were going to die. Like, I understand turbulence is a thing, but when you're in a Spirit like plane, it's different. It's made out of tin. It's not real steel. And like the seats were moving back and forth. The flight attendants were screaming, which that's when you know the plane's going down. Like, you're done soon. It was the worst experience of my life. I felt like if I was like on JetBlue, I wouldn't have even felt those bumps. But being in a Spirit airline is like being in a Ford Pinto. It's the worst thing ever.
And I know this is going to sound like such first world problems. They don't even have USB chargers to charge your damn phone on Spirit Airlines. Like everybody else, you get a TV, you get to plug shit in.
Shit, Delta has the freaking prongs.
I know, Delta hooks it up.
Listen, you pay for that. If you want to be a cheap ass like I am, you pay the cheaper ticket, or else you could pay double to go on Delta. So it's up to you. You expect that. Well, the shaky flight and all that, I don't know about all that.
Yeah,
that was a little far on the Spirit. No excuses.
So I got married in Jamaica, right?
Yeah.
Like I had a destination wedding, and we had 30 people down there, and I bought my flight through Spirit, and there was a 6-hour layover in Fort Lauderdale, and it was an overnight layover. Like we landed at like 11 p.m. and the flight wasn't until 5 the next morning, right? They tried to charge me double for the bags because they're two separate flights. Even though I checked them in Jamaica, because we got off, we had to go through customs in Fort Lauderdale. Then I had to recheck my bags in to the Detroit flight. And they tried to charge me an extra like $300 because, mind you, we just got married. Wife got the wedding dress. I got all the stuff for the wedding. Like, we got a lot of stuff on us. I had to barter with them for literally 3 hours. This is me pissed off, like midnight, talking to people, and I found out the secret word that you had to say to make sure that you didn't have to pay twice for your luggage. No, it was my final destination was Detroit, and that's all I had to say was when I checked my bags, my final destination was Detroit. And then they were like, oh, okay. After 3 hours of talking to these assholes. And finally, I didn't have to pay all this money for bags that just should have been so easy. Like, I already checked them once, put them to Detroit, where I'm going. I don't care if it's a 6-hour layover. That's your fault, not mine.
Your fault. It's a wedding. You're going to pay all this money to have a wedding in Jamaica, but you can't pay for the better flight? It's like buying a cheap-ass knockoff fake iPhone charger and wanting that to have better life than a real charger.
I know you're getting married, and I know Chaldean weddings are fucking insane when it comes to flowers and money.
Yes.
But I guarantee my whole wedding is going to cost less than your flowers.
Probably, but that has nothing to do with it. You still paid all that money because flowers are expensive as hell at our weddings. But you still pay all that money. You know you're dealing with the bags. Like to Corey's point, anytime you know that you're dealing with baggage, don't book Spirit.
My issue wasn't the first time. It's when they tried to double charge me for the same bags going to the same place.
Spirit for
That's
you, man.
Spirit. You know,
Yeah, well,
read the
they
fine
messed with the wrong one, and I got free bags.
Trust me, they.
That's right.
Hey, you got them then. That's it.
Yeah, Spirit, you got.
You are the first person to ever get free bags with Spirit. Let's put that on the record.
That's worthy of the Hall of Fame right
You are
there.
the
You should get voted in with Calvin.
Thank you, guys. Thank you. First ballot Spirit Hall of Famer. I'm gonna be up there with those guys beating ass. But honestly, like, what a scene! Could you imagine being at the airport, getting on your flight, and just this melee breaks out in front of you? I just like how the one person grabbed the kid before it really popped off.
Yeah.
They did. I mean, I want to hear Art. Art, what did you think about the? You gotta play the video, man. What did you think about the fight, man? They looked like they was on some MMA rolling around on the ground and stuff, man.
Were they well trained, Art?
I will say that it looked like a complete shit show. The eye pokes, that's something that typically doesn't happen in fights, but obviously airport fights are different. Yeah. I will say, going back to the bag thing, though, I think it's complete BS that you have to pay to even bring your bag. Like, that's part of your person. It reminds me of concert venues or big venues when they charge for parking. It makes no sense. Like, I'm going to your venue. I'm going to spend money at your establishment. You're gonna, buy food or whatever the case may be. You're gonna make me pay for my own bag. I disagree with that fully. I've got sticks back on this.
Hey, thank you, man. I appreciate that.
Parking lot got to make their money too. Damn.
Yeah, the parking lot. I mean, we know lots of people that own parking lots in Detroit, and they bang.
Hell yeah, they bang.
That one guy, I forget his name, but he always tweets me. He's like, whenever you're downtown, we own all the parking lots. Just let me know which one you want to park in.
You're the Joey of downtown Detroit.
Who the hell is that?
I'll show you.
Let's talk about that after this.
That reasons for a Spirit is why when I can, I just go ahead and just fly either Southwest or Delta.
Yeah,
that's just really it. With Southwest, I don't believe I've ever had to pay for a bag anytime with Southwest.
You know how you know Spirit's horrible? When you gotta pay to just select your damn seat.
Right. To move over a seat, it's
literally
$7.
It's the worst. That's the worst part about it. But you get what you get.
But needless to say, I will take one of those $9 flights with nothing on me, and like Zago and I have done that for a weekend before. Just go to Fort Lauderdale, $9 down there, $9 back, and you pay a couple $100 for your hotel room, buy some crappy clothes while you're down there, and you're good to go.
So is that real? Like, I always wondered, like, what do you actually end up paying? Just $9 plus tax?
$9, man.
That's crazy.
Yeah, like when Zago used to do the company trips and take 15 people on vacation, they were $18 a person for the flight.
That's wild.
Right. But he'd have to...
Delta don't got those.
No, Delta doesn't. But Delta has nice, comfortable seats. They have
you get
snacks.
your charger.
I can watch TV. I get a charger. It doesn't smell funny. I won't get beat up trying to get on the flight. I get bagged. I love Delta.
I love Delta. I will say that even though that was out of their control, my worst turbulence ever was on a Delta flight.
Really?
Coming back when I went to Miami and I came back, man. Anybody ever been to Disney World? The Tower of Terror.
Oh yeah.
That's what that was like. It was just like it. First off, I knew it was something bad when they said that when we was on the plane. They said, you know what? The pilot came over the mic like, I value safety first. We're not going to take off for a little bit. This weather a little rocky. I'm like, oh crap! When we take off, this is going to be crazy. And we was up, and it just really did I'm not exaggerating. It was just like I'm like, oh crap! This is it. I no Wi-Fi. I can't text my family.
No Wi-Fi.
This like Red Fox. This is the big one. This is the big one, Elizabeth.
I've been on one flight like that scared the hell out of me. Me and my sister were coming back. My aunt used to live in Russia, as random as that sounds, and we spent a summer in Russia, and we were coming back, and we were flying out of Germany to, I believe it was Atlanta. And my God, same thing. Just flying along, everything's good, and whoosh, just like the sudden drop. My sister grabs my arm like she's dying. I laughed a little bit. I thought it was fun. too dumb to know that I was just about to die. So I was like, ah! And oof, man, there's nothing like that feeling. It's your heart drops.
Your balls drop. That's what that is.
Yes. It was definitely a crazy thing. Let's take a quick break. We'll be right back with Joey's news. Plus, we'll talk a little Pistons and Red Wings next.
Spinning him down and putting the ball in the one. Second and goal, and short foul goes in for the touchdown.
And now, Joey with your sports news. That's my crazy, cheesy radio announcer voice.
And I'm Joey.
Hi, everybody. Welcome to Woodward Sports. We're live right here on Woodward, and we got Joey coming through with the news.
With the weather. I need the weather, though.
We're traffic and weather together on the 10s.
So we got to talk about the Lions. Today is the day that we introduce to you our new GM, Brad Holmes, at 4 o'clock.
That's my trumpet.
So that's exciting news. And then we're expected to announce our new head coach, Dan Campbell, from the Saints tomorrow. So there's some exciting news there. And yesterday, just a little recap of the sports that we had. We had some early day games. With noon is the first game that we had with the Detroit Red Wings. It was a sad ending because I thought we were going to pull it, but we didn't. We ended up losing 1-2 to the Columbus Blue Jackets. But there was some fun in there because one of my favorite parts was Dylan Larkin and Zach Rowensky are like homies, super homies, grew up together, and they're on opposite teams, and they got in a fight.
Nice.
So I love to see that, but we did end up losing.
Yeah, that game was crazy. Darren McCarty was sitting in here in the little conference room right next door, and we were watching the game, and I walked away. It was 1-0, and then I came back like 2 minutes later. Boom, 3-0. I was like, well, that was quick. And he's like, yeah, we made some mistakeys. I was like, oh, okay. Well, watching a hockey game with Darren McCarty is, you get a lot of insight, man.
He like commentates it too, which is cool.
He literally does, and it tells you like, oh, that defenseman's out of position.
Yeah,
and,
things you don't really look at as a fan.
If you would have taken that angle, it would have been better. So yeah, it was fun to watch a hockey game with a former hockey player.
Yeah. So we lost 3-2. Now we fall down to 1-2 on the season. The Red Wings got another game against the the Blue Jackets again tonight at 7:30 here in Detroit at LCA.
Yeah, they should win this game. I got them winning this game. If the Red Wings can keep 500 all season long, I think that's going to be a really successful season for them this year.
Especially when you see Bobby Ryan. I mean, his performances so far this season in only 2 games with the organization.
Yep.
Pulling off 3 goals. I mean, he's pacing for over 50 goals on the season.
Right.
So that's going to be great.
Get it in, Bobby Ryan.
So that's Bobby Ryan. And then we go to the other game yesterday, which, Corey, I need you to explain a little bit of this to me. So the game was scheduled for 3 o'clock yesterday for the Detroit Pistons. Game didn't end up starting until 8 o'clock.
Yeah, so apparently, according to a few of the reports, the league needed more time to administer the COVID-19 testing. So I guess they couldn't get it done in enough time before the 3 o'clock start. So they pushed the game back to 8. I know that the Heat were down a number of players, so that was just the main reason why they pushed it back. I don't think. Well, I'm kind of curious.
It screwed up my whole day, man.
Yeah.
Like, I was expected to go home, kick it up, like through COVID, we've had some afternoon football, which has been amazing. And I love the Martin Luther King matinee game that the Pistons have done for like 16, 17 years. Like, it's been their tradition. And it kind of screwed up my tradition.
Yeah.
So I'm glad they got the game in. Sad they lost, but they would have won if they played at 3.
Yep. If they didn't give up that 19-point lead that they had in the first.
Yes.
I'm just sick of giving up all these leads.
That's a young team, though, man. Like young teams, there's going to be lots of runs like this because they lose composure for moments, then they get it back. And that's the thing. They just got to learn to where once you got them down, keep that foot on their neck so they can't get up. Don't lose your fundamentals. Keep playing the way you were playing to get there. Don't try to play not to lose.
It's like once they get those leads, they get a little lax and they stop doing the things that got them the lead initially. They start taking worse shots. I don't get it, but that's something that Casey's going to have to address. Yesterday he addressed after the game, he addressed the turnovers, which was a really big problem for them because I believe they gave up 23 points off of turnovers. So 23
points off of 18 turnovers.
Ouch.
Yeah, so
young team again.
Yeah.
That's why. Like, and these are all things that you can improve on and limit. Those are okay. Like, I don't mind those mistakes because they're aggressive mistakes. You're trying to make plays. You're a little out of control. But those are all correctable. And once we correct them, we'll be a dangerous-ass team.
What about Wayne Ellington in the starting position? What do you think about him, man? Dropping 24 points, 7 for 11 from the threes.
Well, Wayne can shoot. He just needs to get in rhythm. But Wayne is a damn good three-point shooter. So it was shocking, but at the same it was shocking but not shocking to see at the same time.
I just don't see him keeping that starting position though.
No, I think that once Josh Jackson gets back into the groove of things, he might go ahead and take that spot back. But for right now, I do agree with having Wayne Ellington as a starter. That's the smart move because he already has his legs under him and he's good to go.
Yeah. He got shout out OU's Kendrick Nunn, though.
Yeah.
Yep. He balled out yesterday for Miami.
Go Oakland.
Kendrick Nunn was the catalyst behind them erasing that lead. He was just like, from that window, he was just unstoppable.
Yeah, it's got to feel good, too, to play at Oakland and come in and, beat the Pistons on their home court. You're a big reason for that.
Yeah.
Like, to play spoiler like that's got to be fun.
For sure. I mean, that's especially coming from Oakland University. And my favorite was that they gave a shout out to Greg Campy and all that, too. But the later on tonight, though, number 7 Michigan is taking on Maryland at 7 p.m. Hopefully they play better than they did on Saturday because that almost 20-point loss to Minnesota was not a good game to watch.
Yeah, Lil Wagner's going to show up tonight. He's going to have a triple-double. That's my call for tonight's game.
And I think, Michigan needed that. I'm not saying that they were acting on their high horse or nothing, but it was looking a little easy for them.
Right.
So now to know that they can be beaten, I think that will just give them another sense of urgency moving forward, that they're not going to play around with teams.
Right.
Yeah. So there is your Woodward Sports update. And then I also want to give another little update on my people over at Northwestern Tech. Because right now I feel like it's just a great time for you to really just reconsider what you want to do in your career. And they have an amazing 10.5-month hands-on HVAC program. So you got to take advantage of this. Check out northwesterntech.edu. It's Northwestern Tech, the HVAC school that works.
Awesome. We got to say what's up to Reginald, what's up to Jim, Adam, and everybody that's in the Facebook chat right now, and everybody tweeting us on Twitter and also on YouTube Live. We got Dan, Lynn, Ants checking in, Nick, Mitch, Flip, just a lot of people. We appreciate all of you. Thank you for spreading the word about Woodward Sports and sharing this on all the platforms. We love you for it.
Block Flip from commenting.
Block Flip?
No.
That's our boy.
Flip?
That's our boy, Flip.
So you guys were all 15 once, right?
Yeah.
Right?
I would say so.
Did you guys do dumb stuff when you were 15?
I plead the fifth.
I plead the fifth.
Few dumb things.
Let me be more specific. Did you ever drive before you were 16? Like on your own? Like take a car?
Oh, no.
No?
You never did?
I mean, I've drove, but I've never just took a whip.
Really? So I actually didn't get my driver's license till I was 18.
Really?
Yeah.
No wonder you couldn't get chicks.
Yep, I couldn't. That wasn't the only reason why, but for me, I was too cheap to pay for the whole course. My parents were gonna make me pay for the whole driver's training and all that.
Okay.
And I didn't want to pay. I was working at Subway. I was trying to stack my cash on the side, But I had a brother, Peter. So for me, he's a year older than me. So he was basically driving and I was going with him everywhere. So it really wasn't that bad. But I remember one time when I was 16, did not have my driver's license, and I took the parents' minivan. And when I tell you that reaction when I got busted was the worst, and it was a scary feeling because people were drinking and all that too, and they wanted me to drive, and I was like going to get the alcohol and all that, and I was like, this is just gonna go bad. And I was like a super innocent kid. I didn't want to go out like that, you know, especially get arrested in the minivan like that. But that minivan, man, the green Honda Odyssey.
Joey in a minivan.
Oh, I was whipping that boy.
Isn't that the craziest part? When you don't have your license, any car's the baddest whip on the planet.
The minivan?
Like, it could be the minivan. My dad had this old, like, black Cutlass 88 pickup with side steps on it.
Clean as hell.
Not a great truck, but I thought it was the baddest truck on the planet, man. The thing had a V8 in it. Like, you had to crank the doors. Like, there was no bells, no whistles. It was rusting out. But when I was in that bitch driving when I was 15 years old, whoo, man, you couldn't tell me nothing. Nothing. So the reason I bring this up, there's a 15-year-old who is trying to get into NASCAR, and like he was driving on Daytona or driving on the racetrack. And NASCAR's rules are, if you're in the cars and you're driving, you're not allowed to have your phone. You're not allowed to record stuff. So what does a 15-year-old do?
Oh man, TikTok.
Is it up just behind me, Art, or is it up on?
It's up just behind you guys.
Okay. So the kid takes the phone, and this is him inside his NASCAR race car going around the track at like 200 miles an hour.
Oh.
NASCAR saw this, and now they're thinking about like taking this kid out of the running for whatever license he was applying for whatever he wanted to be a part of, because he didn't just take Joey's minivan. Dude took a NASCAR car out on the racetrack going 4,000 miles an hour, and he's videotaping it on Snapchat.
And you see it on Snapchat right there.
Yeah.
And see,
what an idiot.
I never like to see kids' careers ruined, but something like this, I hate to admit, is going to be used as an example.
Can I just say, like, the kid's just having fun. I understand it's probably bad sport, but like in northern Michigan, kids are like 8 years old driving. Like, I'm used to seeing it. So like, to me, he's on the track having fun. Let the kid live his life.
But he got caught. That's the only thing.
Him driving isn't the issue. Him driving and recording it is the NASCAR's major issue.
Would you have done the same thing?
Oh, hell yeah. Hell yeah. But
come on.
So you're going to live your life off of what I would do?
Right.
Kids at home watching right now.
Do not
use me as a learning tool to not screw up like I've screwed up.
Especially something dumb like this. Like, first off, what you're doing is going against the rules. Then to post it on social media, like, how many times do we see this in our life?
Right.
Where I'm not going to call a kid dumb, but
don't
it's like...
be Marlowe.
Don't be Marlowe. Literally, Marlowe Alter. Don't be him.
This is NASCAR's Marlowe right here. Like, don't do dumb shit and then call other people out. But
just thankful that nothing happened where, you know, he dropped the phone while driving or anything like that. I mean, that's going that fast, that is and recording. It's already dangerous enough just going up Woodward, driving and recording that. I mean, I'll do it, but I mean,
I don't condone. Just to be clear, like, I have children of my own.
A horrible mentor.
I'm a horrible
parent. My 8-year-old drives up north.
I don't condone what he's doing, but at the same time, if I was his age doing that, like, I'd want to record that experience. Was it illegal? Terrible? Could he have died? Yes. I would have done the same thing at his age.
Kenny Burke made a great point. Why didn't he just get a GoPro?
That
could have worn it.
Because he's 15, Corey. Like, I mean, when I was 15, I was making all types of dumb decisions. Like, every day I probably made at least 15 dumb decisions.
Think about how many girls he got off of that Snapchat, though.
Oh, yeah.
100%. That's what he was thinking.
Hell yeah.
And now he got all those girls off of Snapchat, and now his career could be in jeopardy.
Yeah.
Worth it.
Well, as Joey likes to say, he was just building his brand. That's all he was doing. Like, ain't nobody's got that video.
For real, though.
He probably just picked up like 1 million followers.
Hell yeah. Honestly, this is probably better for his career in the long haul.
So when I was 15, we used to just take cars all the time. Like, that was just my buddy Mike Lim. We would steal his parents' car all the time. It was like a Chevy Blazer that they would leave home, and we would just, and we wouldn't go anywhere. Like, we go to the mall and park and then walk into the mall. It's not like we were racetracking around M1. But I also remember my sister had this, like, it was like a maroon Cutlass. and it was a little 2-door car. It was her car when she was 16, but like she went off to band camp or something. She was out for whatever.
Fair game.
And I would just take that car and I would drive from my house in Walled Lake like all the way to Alpine to hang out with my buddy Mike Dana. I'd pick people up. Like I was going hours around this entire city when I was 15. And luckily I never got caught. It never caught up to me. But Mike Lim, one time he got in a car accident when he was 15 driving his parents' car.
What's the punishment on that?
It really wasn't that bad.
Really?
Like, it really wasn't. I was because I was like, oh my God, you're never gonna get your license. Like they're gonna take this away from you forever and ever. And no, he just had to do a little bit of community service and got on probation. Still got his license on time. Yeah, and I was shocked. Like he was in a parking lot, he was backing out, and somebody hit him while he was backing out.
Ooh, damn!
But still, 15 years old in your first car accident.
Yeah,
pretty wild.
But it's crazy to think of all the hours that you drove around that you never once got caught up. Did you get caught by the parents?
Me? I never got caught.
Ever? That's amazing.
Ever.
Honestly, that's impressive.
Yeah. No, I was good with it, man. So yeah, 15-year-olds.
At least I got a chance to have some kind of fun like that. My parents never left anywhere for any amount of time to even leave the keys around. So
yeah.
Oh man, when my parents left, it was party time. Like one time, my parents went to a high school reunion, and I thought they were gonna stay overnight, you know. And they come back at like midnight to just a bunch of naked ass kids in the pool. Like probably about 20 kids naked skinny dipping in our pool. My drunk mom and my drunk dad, like when I just look up, they're standing on the porch just looking at all of us, and my dad goes, "Sam, they all gotta go." Like, you know,
I
Dad.
thought you were gonna say Pops took the pants off and jumped in. I was waiting for that.
If it was college me, I'm sure he would have. High school me, there's a lot of legalities that go into that. So
that's awesome.
So yeah, my parents have caught me doing random things. Whenever I thought the parents were out of town, we went hard as hell. But there's always that like rogue bottle cap or rogue something that you didn't clean up that wound up under the couch that your parents end up finding and like, "Sam, what's this?"
Oh yeah, see, now that I've still gotten in trouble. I was never able to steal a car, but I was able to do other things that have gotten me in trouble. Like one weekend, I came home. I was over at my dad's house, and I came back home at Mom's house, and I seen some, I like Jell-O, so I was in the refrigerator and I seen some Jell-O, and I'm like, oh man, I'm about to go.
I was thinking some gangster stories about to come down.
I like Jell-O.
So I'm in here in the kitchen, got about 4 or 5 of these Jell-O shots, and I didn't even know. Not even know what Jell-O shot. And I'm just smacking, and my mom would come in and she see me all acting funny. She was just like, I thought I was about to get reamed out. She just started busting out laughing. She said, "How you feeling?" And then I'm like, great. She's like, "Yeah, those have alcohol in them." So I was pretty tore up.
So these were her Jell-O shots that you just got a hold of.
When I was gone the weekend, she had, people over, so I just came back and I'm just thinking I'm eating some random Jell-O.
Yeah.
No, I wasn't. Them things were strong.
How old were you?
14.
Little drunk ass 14-year-old Corey.
I thought he was gonna say like 25.
Right. Oh, that's awesome.
That's so good.
So yeah, we all make dumb mistakes as high school kids, and this kid is no different.
No, it's just, what he was doing was on a professional level.
Well, and he recorded it. That's the difference. Like, I don't want to sound like old man shaking his fist at the sky, but man, I'm so glad I didn't grow up with Snapchat.
You would have been.
Ooh, girl.
You would have been all over.
We'd be talking about those videos right now. Like, and I would have documented the dumbest stuff that you've ever seen in your life. Because
you would have been a world star about 6 times.
Probably dead, but I'd have a great brand.
Yep.
That's all.
Yep. It's all about them followers on the gram.
That's all that matters. Let's take a quick break. We'll be right back. Talk about Justin Fields committing to the draft, and we'll touch on some MHSAA football next.
Let's go.
I'm looking to bring on another HVAC tech right now.
We are recruiting 5 to 10 techs a month.
We're looking to grow and expand. Every new tech we hire is from Northwestern Tech.
The hands-on training is fantastic.
They're always my first call.
We love hiring Northwestern Tech grads.
They come out trained and ready to work.
Our program is only 10.5 months, and our next classes are starting soon. So why wait?
I'm looking to hire
Hire a graduate
of Northwestern Tech.
Northwestern Tech.
Northwestern Tech.
So good news is for high school kids, we were just talking about being crazy when you were in high school. Part of the reason I didn't go completely over the edge was organized sports. And the MHSAA has been letting them play football, then taking football away, letting them play volleyball, taking volleyball away, letting them play basketball, taking basketball away. But I think we're finally going to make it through this year's MHSAA high school football season. The finals are going on at Ford Field this weekend, right?
So it's
Joe?
actually going on at Ford Field?
Yeah, Ford Field.
That's amazing. I didn't think it would happen at Ford Field.
Yeah, the top, the 11-man football is taking place at Ford Field. The 7-man is somewhere else.
Yeah. That's amazing. But I mean, you look at all the teams and what they've had to overcome throughout this entire season.
Yep.
To be able to finally have this game is going to mean so much to them, because a lot of them on the basketball side of things a few months ago, they didn't get to finish their season. So this is much needed.
No, and basketball hasn't even started their season. Like, it's weird right now. They're not letting basketball and volleyball and some of those play because they're quote-unquote contact sports, but they're letting football play, which
not a contact sport.
It's not.
Basketball's contact sport.
I don't know what the hell's
not
going on.
contact sport.
All I know is they're playing for a state championships this weekend, and these kids deserve every bit of credit for making it through this season. What are some of the local games that we got going on?
So we got in Division 1, West Bloomfield taking on Davison. West Bloomfield's been looking amazing.
Yes.
That's going to be a great game.
For many years, like the program that they've built over the past 5 years has been great.
Yeah, what's his name? Bellamy. That's a big addition to the school.
Yep.
De La Salle in the Catholic League.
But big bounce back year for De La Salle. They did not have the greatest year last year with all the controversy that they went through. But for those kids to bounce back, be in the state championship this year, happy for them.
Right. We got River Rouge, DeWitt. That's a great game. Country Day and Cadillac and Frankenmuth.
Yeah, Frankenmuth.
Frankenmuth.
Bring the chicken.
Then the lower you get in these divisions, it's like, all right, where are these schools even located? So we got a couple local schools representing the state.
Is New Lothrop playing the Division 7 school?
Yeah, New Lothrop is at TC St. Francis.
Okay, so that's the high school game I got to call. I called New Lothrop versus Detroit Loyola when they beat Loyola, and George Blaha was at the game, which was amazing. But Art, you're going to love this fact. Guess who the quarterback for New Lothrop is related to? You've interviewed him on your MMA podcast. I'll give you that hint.
Dan Severin.
Yes, sir.
Hey-o!
Wow.
Really?
He is the nephew of Dan Severin.
Everyone's the nephew of Dan Severin. I swear.
Okay.
He has so many little seeds everywhere.
I mean, they don't call him the Beast for nothing. Dude's been out here putting it in work.
Laying it down.
But for real, no. The kid is a beast, too. He's an all-state quarterback. He's an all-state pitcher, and he is also an all-state wrestler. And he's going to play.
Sheesh.
Yeah, he's going to play at Ferris State.
After all that, you picked Ferris State.
He had some D1 offers and stuff like that for baseball, but he's going to play. But either way, the kid's great. His last name's Orr, if you get a chance to look him up. But New Lothrop, they actually had a really good team. I was really entertained by that game that I got to call, which was kind of a lifelong dream for me, too.
See?
So happy.
Now, look, you led a team to the state championship.
Yeah, well, then Detroit Loyola will say I got in their way. So
right.
no, I don't want that. I don't want that. No.
Right.
Blaha, we're on good terms. I love Loyola.
So that's the MHSAA state championship going down this weekend.
Yeah, we just wanted to touch on that because
any fans? Do we know?
Yeah, they're limited fans.
Okay.
But it's just nice that these kids actually get to play out their season, even though it's damn near February and they're finishing football, which should have been done in November.
Literally, Thanksgiving is when all of this is over.
Yep.
And they're still out here playing in mid-January.
At least they get some type of closure. Just wrap it up. Just hopefully the governor doesn't step in and, hey, football's off again.
Right.
Thursday hits the news.
Oh, God, that would be so bad.
Don't even joke about that.
Oh, so this is a great point when we were talking about why they're letting basketball not play but football play. They're trying to use that indoor is the reasoning for basketball not to play. Football was able to play outdoor. If I'm not
We're in a
mistaken,
football
isn't
field.
Ford Field indoor?
I thought last I checked it was a dome.
Yeah.
They got that retractable or something?
No, they didn't put the retractable. $500 million with no retractable roof.
That's crazy.
That is crazy. That was one of the biggest travesties ever in like architectural design.
Yup.
Honestly, we should have a retractable roof in
I would
Ford
have loved
Field.
that.
Oh, it'd be the best.
Oh man.
Because what it would do is it would weed out the people who are like, I don't want to sit in snow. And it's like, okay, fine. When it's snowing, we'll put the roof up. We'll all be warm in here. And then when it's sunny and like 30 degrees, 40 degrees, we'll have it open. Like, it would have been such a perfect build. Like, whoever the architects were for Ford Field, you missed the ball on that one.
Okay, look. Have you been to a Michigan game at night? Michigan football game at night? One of the greatest things.
Oh,
I can just imagine Lions game at night. Oh my God.
That'd be sweet.
That would have been sick.
Yeah. I don't know, man.
They don't give us night games, though.
I will say the architects of Comerica Park nailed it by putting 420 at dead center, though. So I appreciate them for that. It's one of my favorite features in that whole
One of my
park.
favorite pictures, too, is Thick just cheesing on the field.
Yeah. It's me, like, presenting the sign. Like, yeah. That was one of the best architectural engineering
He was
ever
so
done.
happy. He was so happy. I'm going to find it.
It's on his Facebook.
Yeah, it's on my Facebook.
Probably his cover photo on there.
It was at one point. I'm sure it was at one point. So yeah, thank goodness that these kids get to play out their season, and good luck to every player playing, whether you win or lose. Hopefully by now you learn the valuable lesson of, hey, you get to do this as a privilege, not a right, and you have fun with it. You get out there on the field and get those memories.
Right.
I'm literally going through Stick's cover photos and it's all cats.
You can go through them on. You show everybody my cats. Go ahead. I mean,
I'm trying to find.
I got a cat
photo.
tattoo on my arm.
Oh my gosh!
And this is the dopest tattoo. Here, I'll put it on Joey's so you can actually see it.
Yeah, let me switch the camera. Hang on. Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's it.
That's
Yep.
my cat too. So yeah, anybody tries to clown me for liking cats, you can't clown me. Like
It's not about clowning you about that. It's the fact that you've claimed, and I believe you, to knock so many men out, yet you have nothing but cat photos. It's just the sweetest. Like, you are such a sweetheart that it's just like I can never picture you fighting someone.
It's funny because Chad Johnson, his brother Stingray Steve, like he loves cats too. If you don't know, we've had this conversation. Okay. Yeah, he's
See, but he rubs me as a cat lover.
Does he?
He rubs me as a cat lover.
Yeah, I bet he does.
He's a teddy bear like that.
And he saw my tattoo, and literally Art, because he saw my tattoo, he's like, yeah, you can knock people out. Because nobody's going to put that tattoo on their forearm if they can't take shit. And that's why I'm able to wear a cat tattoo on my forearm.
It's amazing.
I love this cat tattoo. Shout out to Matt Hockaday from Waterford for doing it. Like, some of the best photorealism you'll ever see in your life if you go look at this guy's portfolio. So thank you, Matt Hockaday. What are you smiling about, Art? You got that picture up? Is that what's going on? Oh, there it is.
Literally behind you.
There it is.
It's never seen him so happy. With his glove out there, too. With his glove like he's about to play a game.
Oh, man. When you're out there on the field like that in Comerica Park, you got to pretend that you're robbing one over the fence.
There's so many pictures of Stick with squinty eyes, and I never knew why. And now looking at that picture, I get it completely. I get it.
Makes sense. Now I get it.
Yeah.
You know, that doesn't, I think the main reason they let you get out there because they thought you looked like Verlander.
Yeah.
That's really it.
Dude, when Justin Verlander was a Tiger, I swear to God, Joey will tell you, people would come up to me for autographs, and like
I would egg him on too.
Yeah, Joey would be such a dick with it.
We don't have Verlander, but we have Verlander's cousin. Hang on.
The poor man's Verlander. But for real, people would come up to me and I'd have to disappoint them. Like one time I was doing an in-store appearance at a Meijer for the radio station we were working at, and it was half radio station, half Tigers. And so people see me there sitting down, like, and I'm there representing the radio station. This kid comes up to me with his dad, slides his little book across the table, and his dad's like, "Will you sign it?" And I'm just like, "I'm not who you think I am, man."
I would have just signed it.
No!
I would have Googled Justin Verlander's signature, replicated that for this kid.
No!
Make the kid's day. He would have never known.
I mean, I have taken pictures with chicks, telling them I was like,
yes, all day.
Were you there at the Big Sean concert?
Yes.
And the girl comes up to me, she's like, "Can I get a picture with you?" She takes it, she's like, "My dad's gonna be so jealous." I'm like, "Your dad, like, What? Your dad thinks? Oh, she thinks I'm Verlander. Okay, I thought she actually wanted a picture.
I would
with
play
me.
that off so well.
Yeah.
Oh, that'd be so fun. Cause and then she goes home, shows Dad this picture.
Right.
Like, who the hell is this?
That's the best part. As you know, Dad's like, my daughter's stupid as hell.
But you do wear that Detroit hat always.
Always.
So it's like I would believe it.
Oh, dude, there were opening days when I would just be walking around and people, hey, Verlander, come over here. It's like, you really think Justin Verlander's drunk as shit walking around Comerica Park
among the people
Right.
just drinking,
40 minutes before he starts the game. I'm out here just getting wasted.
My favorite is there was one time on opening day where someone thought he was Justin Verlander during the game.
I mean, hey, it's possible. I mean, Ron Artest sent the guy across the street during halftime for a fifth of Henny, so
There we go.
you never know.
That's true.
I do miss having Justin Verlander as a Tiger, and ironically, it was like 2 years ago. Adam and I were going to Vegas, and we flew through Houston, where Verlander plays, and we have a layover in the airport. And there I am with my hat on and all that. Someone in Houston thinks I'm Justin Verlander, and I'm like, everywhere this dude goes. So
I would have had him buying me some food at the airport and all that.
all I want
Milking
is a
it.
DM from Kate Upton. Just like, can she make the
Accident,
mistake?
Right.
Can she make the mistake?
Well,
Like-
more than a DM from her.
Right. Yeah, ATM. All right. Justin Fields. He is coming to the pros. Even though Todd McShay said that he should stay in the collegiate level with Ohio State, he has declared himself for the NFL draft, which I know makes the man to my left very happy.
I am so geeked about this because I thought that there was zero chance. Like, he was the biggest idiot for even saying that there was that possibility because Justin Fields is just so ready for the NFL. Right now is the time for him to go. But what was even more shocking was yesterday late at night, Ohio State senior wide receiver Chris Olave, he said that he's staying at Ohio State. And you look at his stats throughout his career.
He looked good.
He's done everything that he needs to do to be ready for the NFL. So it's like, I don't understand this reasoning as to why he chose to stay.
I mean, look, you only get a small window of college, right? And I get that they're cashing in and going to the pros, but you can't go back. So I never question a guy who wants one more year of the college experience because that is such next level. When you're the big man on campus, especially at an Ohio State, why would you want to leave that? Your dorm room's just stocked full of chicks whenever you want. Like,
it's always been with Justin Fields, though. So, like, when you have a new quarterback, you don't know what that's going to result into.
That's true. That is true.
So, like, I'm thinking for his sake, like, what if this quarterback don't show him any love? What if, God forbid, anything bad happens? It's like I really just that decision to me, especially in college when you're under a quarterback like a Justin Fields, one of the best playmakers on the field, makes you look like a stud on the field. I don't see that decision, but Chris Olave staying.
Hey man, there must be some good things happening at Ohio State.
Hell yeah, hell yeah.
I don't get that move. Your draft, like Justin Fields, I think it was real smart for him to go.
Yeah.
His stock is never going to be any higher. He's going to be, you're going number 2, so you're going to come back one more year to be number 1. I mean,
what's the difference?
Right. What's the difference?
Well, he's going to come back, and we'll see. But like I said, if you're the star athlete, but you're not the star athlete, if you're, he's not Justin Fields, so he doesn't really have the pressure to go pro. He's going to get drafted second, third round, maybe. I mean, he's not going to be a top-end wide receiver, so it's a little different situation. Like, you could stay the big man on campus or go be the small fish in the big pond.
But truthfully, I don't even see him doing that next season.
Yeah.
So you're on top of all the talks right now, Justin Fields and Chris Olave. It's like, I thought he should have done it, but obviously his decision yesterday night proved otherwise.
Right. Well, Justin Fields is going to the pros, which is awesome. Joey, I know you had him in your mock draft with the Lions, taking him at number 7. Some people have him as the second quarterback off the board. A lot of people have him as the third quarterback off the board. It's going to be interesting to see where he lands. If it's with the Honolulu Blue, I'm not going to be mad at it.
Oh, if he slips to 7, you have to grab him. I mean, I had Kwity Paye going to the Lions at 7, but that's because I had Fields going number 4 to the Falcons.
Yeah.
But if Fields slips down to 7, you have to draft your successor to Matthew Stafford.
Yeah, for sure. For sure. And if you're a gambling man and you bet on fields, which is one of the things that you can bet on with prop bets and stuff like that through MyBookie, you see them behind us right now. They are our new studio sponsor. And make sure you go to MyBookie today because not only are playoffs here and it's fun to bet on all that stuff, like you can bet on anything around the world on this website, and I absolutely love it. And one of my favorite features that they have is crypto. They'll pay you in crypto. You can convert your cash, bet a game, get paid out in crypto. Like this
so
is
cool.
This is the new way. I know a lot of these other sports books are trying to get their app going and stuff like that. These guys are tried, they're true, and if you put in code word Woodward Sports, they'll match up to half of your original deposit, up to $1,000, which is amazing.
Yeah, so just use the word Woodward on there and get that hookup.
Yeah, so go bet, win, and get paid at MyBookie. So thank you guys from MyBookie. We appreciate you here at the Morning Wood Show. Joey, why are you a cheap ass?
I am a cheap ass as to what I did right there, Kroger.
What'd you do?
So a couple weeks ago, I went and I bought some of them Little Debbie boys. The $2.99 muffins. You know what I'm talking about?
Little Debbie boys.
So I was just craving them. This was a couple weeks ago when I was still in my fat ass stages. So I just went over there and I was craving those Little Debbies. And I went to the Speedway. They didn't have any, so I drove down the streets to Kroger and I got them.
Man, you love Little Debbie like that?
I was just feeling it.
Jesus.
I was feeling it. So I go into Kroger and I buy these Little Debbies. And then I pop the box open as I'm leaving. I start munching on them and I'm like, oof, this does not taste right. It was like a couple months expired.
Oh.
Yes.
Months?
A couple months.
Ouch.
Yes. So it was
Maybe that's why you got your hives.
This was a couple weeks ago. You think, for real? This was a couple weeks ago.
That mold sits in there for a while.
But whatever, right? So I eat that pack and all of a sudden I look at the date and it literally was 2.5 months expired. It just got caught up on the shelf somehow. And the other day, I was like, you know, man, this is just principle. I need my $2.99 back. So I went into Kroger with the receipt.
You're damn right.
For my $2.99 back. And the girl looks at me and she looks at the date and she was like, this was like, you bought this like a month ago. I was like, I know. She's like, our return policy is only a couple weeks. I was like, I don't care. These were expired. You're returning this. I need my $2.99. She had to get manager approval on this. So this all for my $2.99 back, but I did get it.
You wasted $25 in man hours to get your $3 back.
I did. It's principle though.
It's principle. It's principalities.
It's like seriously. So like I ask this question to you guys now. If you were in my situation, what would you do with your Little Debbies?
Oh, I would have returned them that moment.
You would have?
That moment, yeah.
So I didn't have time to go back. So that's why I just waited.
Oh, I didn't mean, okay.
Would you hold on to it in the car?
No, once the moment is passed, I would have just took that L on the $3.
Yeah, dude, I'm so lazy. I don't even like cash in scratch off winning lottery tickets if they're $1.
Oh, I do. You gotta get your money back on them.
Yeah, no, it's just I got like a stack of dollar winners just sitting on my dresser.
Really?
What's your address?
Yeah, come on over. Come
right?
steal $7, Corey.
I mean, that's $7. That's a lunch.
But for real, I would never go out of my way to return something like that. Ever. I'm lazy like that though. That's different.
I've always been a cheap ass, and I've said this a couple times on the show today. But for me, it's principle. I stick to principle no matter what it is, and I needed my $2.99 back on that.
So is that the cheapest thing you've ever returned?
I'm trying to think. It's gotta be.
Corey, what's the cheapest thing you ever returned?
Ooh, I'm gonna need some time for that one.
Art, I could see you being a cheap ass. What's the cheapest thing you've ever returned?
You know what? I'll actually admit to all of you that I'm terrible with returning things, like I just am. Nothing that comes to mind. Like, I'd rather just keep it and let it run past the expiration date, of returning it, and then be miserable with myself than take the time to go up there and return it.
Yeah, I can see that. Yeah. Joey's like, no, I'm going to drive 17 miles back to the Kroger that's not even by my house.
Yep. Joey's the same guy that probably picks up pennies on the side of the road on the highway. Like, he's driving and he sees a penny and he's like, oh, I got to pull over.
I do silvers, though. Like, if it's a nickel, a dime, or a quarter, I'll scoop it up.
He's got a name for him.
I'll do it.
Not
do
coins. I'll pick up the silvers.
Oh yeah.
I don't let them coppers, but I'll pick up them silvers.
I got a piggy bank at home still.
Do you?
Hell yeah. The crayon, the big ass crayon.
No way.
Yeah. Oh,
Dude,
yeah.
you're getting married.
And that's coming with me.
Is that like your nest egg?
Dude, that thing that payday.
Oh, I know.
No.
I used to collect money like
Dude,
that.
I'm talking. You know which one I'm talking about? The
Oh,
crayon.
I know. I used to have a Coke bottle like that.
Yeah,
and I'd
same
fill it up.
size.
And I'd throw. This was when I was selling drugs, so I'd just throw money in there.
Dude.
And next thing you know, I got like $700.
No, true story. My grandma gave me a box of pennies, and when I was younger, she
A
told me,
box of pennies.
gave me a box of pennies, and I said, all right, I'm gonna go cash them in, because she like, hey, you take that. I don't want that. So I took them to Kroger, and I'm getting like $150. So when I came back, she was like, how much did you get? I was like, I don't want to tell you. She's like, tell me. I got $150, and she was like, you'll never get another penny from me.
It's the last box of pennies I give you.
That's funny.
Yeah, Coinstar changed the game, man.
Hell
Like you used to
yeah.
have to sit there and put every coin back, and it was a nightmare. Yeah, and now there's a coin shortage. Remember when that was going on during the pandemic?
Yeah, there's a shortage of everything during this pandemic.
So Joey, I'm glad you returned it.
I really exposed myself on the show today.
That's all right, man. As long as you don't really expose yourself on the show
Exactly.
today, we're okay.
I'm good. Actually, on that situation from yesterday, I'm getting a little bit better, in case you were wondering.
So yeah, I mean, we've touched on pretty much everything. Joey, you got Dumbass of the Day coming up, and I know we've talked about several dumbasses, but really, you got to pick between two, right?
Yeah, there's two main ones, and even the Blake Griffin one is another one I want to throw on there, because if you watched the game yesterday, Blake Griffin did a goaltending by blocking it through the hoop. He put his hands through the hoop and blocked the ball, and I'm like, really?
Yeah.
So the main dumbass that we're doing,
Well, we'll talk about that.
we're going to talk about
Yeah, we're going to talk about that
in a minute.
So, Art, let's take a quick break. We'll bring Fish up for Fish's Fact of the Day, and then we'll get into Dumbass of the Day coming up next. So we're running a little bit early today. Fish's Facts normally at 9:50, but it's 9:45, and I think that's good enough to bring Fish on, don't you, Joey?
Especially for Fish Facts, we need to.
All right, Fish. Every day you come in about this time and you bring the heat, some random fact from somewhere around the world that me and Joey could never find, but you seem to find them. What's your Fish Fact of today?
I'll give you some context on the fact.
Okay.
So this was a cricket test match. We have a video that we'll show. And this is the second innings of India. So they needed 329. They needed 329 runs to win.
Holy shit.
Or
All right.
328 to win.
Okay.
And this was the highest test run chase at this venue in the history.
Wow.
The previous one was 236.
Wow. So, whoa. So what did they score and what was the previous?
They scored 329.
The hell kind of hug is that?
They needed 329 to win. Or, yeah, 329 to win.
How do you score 329 points?
They're just really good.
Yeah, I guess so.
This was the first, they play a series every so often. So the first time they three-peated. So they won 3 series in a row in 74 years of the history.
And did you watch this game?
I did. I didn't see the ending. It was at 2:45 in the morning, but I did watch.
Was it
some of
exciting?
Oh, yes. It
Oh, yeah.
was
Wait,
everything
you
wanted
stayed up
for.
till 2:45?
No, I did not. I wanted to.
Oh, okay.
But I
So
did
you want
not.
some replay? Okay.
I did not. Australia, so 2 innings. You got to get 10 outs each, so 20 outs. They were bowled out for the first time at 32 years.
Wow.
32 tests.
What does that mean? What does bowled out mean? Like strike out in baseball almost?
Yeah, so they got 10 outs in 2 innings.
All right.
First time at the venue in 32 years. Previously, in the second test, they got India got their lowest score in India's history of 36.
Wow. Okay.
So they bounced back.
That's a crazy game.
Can I just bring up the fact
Yeah.
that Fish has his own graphic now?
Yes.
I mean, look at that. Shout out to Justin. Fish Facts, sports facts from Intern Fish. I don't even have my own graphic.
With the
He's made it to the
fishy
big
right there.
leagues.
We got to come up with a bit for you,
Yeah,
Art.
we
no,
gotta
I'm
get
just
you a
saying,
graphic.
Fish is making it to the big leagues. You got your own graphic, and you're bringing the show.
Yeah. Well, thank you very much, Fish. That was a fun fact today.
One more.
All right.
First time in 33 years that Australia has lost at this venue.
Wow.
Wow.
Where was it? In India?
No, Brisbane, Australia.
Oh, it was in Australia.
33 years on that fish.
Yeah.
Man. And you've watched every single one of those games. It's amazing.
Somehow.
I wish.
I wish. Oh, well, thank you very much, Fish. We always appreciate you
Don't
on the
cut him
show.
off yet. You got another one?
No, that was it.
I think that's it.
Yeah. Come on, Joey. What
You
you
interrupted
doing,
him last time. So he said, wait, I got one more.
India's previous worst score was 42.
Okay.
So.
Yeah. Well, that is a crazy fact, Fish, and I appreciate you. Joey, let's get into the dumbass of the day. Joey also has his own graphic of him being a dumbass.
So we go to the story we talked about earlier in the show. Flight 646 to Atlanta, flying on Spirit out of Metro Detroit Airport. So this one is close to home because it is a home story. And, you know, I get jealous always of these Florida man stories. But now we get to do a Detroit couple and a Detroit family getting into this altercation, as you see on the big screen.
I love this.
At Metro Detroit Airport. And the agents asked the group to verify that their carry-on bags were sized appropriately for the flight. But this is when the passengers just became combative, as you see.
The art of combativeness.
The art of combativeness.
Yes.
All right, we need you to walk us through this on like a MMA standpoint.
Yeah, what's going on, Art?
Yeah, I mean, there's just a lot of beatings going on. Like, honestly, it's hard to give commentary on a fight like this because it's just, there's so much going on. I mean, you have the girl grabbing the guy. There's a guy in a red coat on the ground. He can barely breathe. Like, this is too much. It's too much. There's too much commotion going on. I don't even know what to say. And there's eye pokes going on.
The eye pokes, man. That's what that was in the police report, and that's what was funny. Like, one guy got his eye poked, and it's like, who's poking eyes during this fight?
I will say that the girl in the coat, she's right there in that frame. She seems like she's starting a lot of it. She's going to everybody, pushing and shoving, and gosh, oh my gosh, yeah,
you gotta
that's
love it though.
That's a lot.
Yeah, so that went down yesterday at Detroit Metro Airport. So
my favorite is the official response that Spirit Airlines puts out. They could care less about the passengers. They say, all of us at Spirit wish the agents a speedy recovery and thank them for their courage and professionalism.
I mean, that is courage. Like, what do you do in that situation?
That's heroic right there.
Have you ever worked at a job where somebody's tried to attack you?
When I was at Subway, someone tried taking some cookies that they didn't pay for.
Really?
Besides that, nothing.
Corey, anybody ever try to attack you, like when you were working at Disney or whatever?
I was just about to say, I did get grabbed at Disney.
Really?
What?
Yeah.
For what?
So what happened was a guy was trying to push his kid's stroller through the wrong, turnstile. I'm like, no, you got to come through this one. And he just kept arguing with me, and he just grabbed my jacket, and I'm like, you know what? I'm not going to touch him. And we had to radio my boss. I radioed my boss. I'm telling him what happened.
Hey, what'd you say? What was that? What was that over? What was it sounding like?
No, my boss was a short white lady named Beth, and she was like, hold up, I'll handle it. She said, are you getting on the train right now to come over to the other side? Yep. So soon as we got off on that train, the guy was getting off. She said, which one was it? Him. She went over there and lit him up. In Disney World. Don't you ever touch one of my workers, you mother.
What? Yeah, Beth.
She went off.
Yeah,
she went off.
Awesome. That's awesome. The only time I've ever been physically assaulted at a job, well, actually a couple times, but one when I was a kid, I was umpiring. And my God, I made a call at home plate, which is the dad did not agree with. After the game, dad walks up. This is 16-year-old stick. This isn't like grown-ass man stick. After the game, this 40-year-old man comes up to me, pokes me in the chest. You fucked that call up.
Wow.
Rah, rah, rah. And then he starts pushing on me, and then it turned into an actual fight, me and a grown-ass man. Baseball parents are crazy. And then there was another time when we were working for a radio station before the Justin Timberlake Jay-Z concert. I fought 6 bouncers out front of Chelly's Chili.
Because of what?
Because they called my wife a bitch.
Oh.
Yeah.
No
This
way.
is great. This is a great story.
Let's hear it.
So, I'm doing the live broadcast there before the entire concert, right? It's Jay-Z, Justin Timberlake. We're out there at like noon, and the concert's not till like 8 p.m. at night. You know how these broadcasts go.
Yeah.
And I'm out there, I'm on the street, I got my headphones on, got my little pack, I'm going in and outside of Chelly's all day to talk to people. Hey, you excited to see Justin Timberlake? Oh, what song you look at? The typical top 40 bullshit, right? So I'm doing all this, and all day long I have, I'm well identified that I'm working, right? Well, my wife wants to go to the concert with me, so I say, yeah, just show up about 6:30, 7 o'clock, and we'll just go to the concert from there because my shift's done. I'll record out the rest of the breaks, and I'll go. So she gets there, and this bouncer, for some reason, was new at that time and didn't know I had been working there all day, didn't know that the station was doing an event there. And I'm like, hey, man, she's with me. I'm just going to run in, grab my stuff, and we're going to go to the concert. He's like, she ain't getting in here. I'm like, bro, you see the headphones? You see the microphone? I'm working here. I'm not trying to just get some hoe into the club. I'm working here.
Yeah.
And he's like, I don't care who that bitch is. She ain't coming in here.
Oh.
I was like, boop, 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 boosh. The next thing you know, man, it's me and 6 bouncers. The engineer, Albert's like, what's going on? I'm like, Albert, tell him. And it was a crazy fight. And this is how crazy it gets. Is the sales lady at that time blamed me for it instead of holding the.
She trying to save that money on that client.
That's what she was doing. Instead of holding them accountable, it was my fault. And I was like, wait a minute. So you're going to send me out to places and let people call not only my wife a bitch, but imagine what they're saying to our listeners, too. And, it was all about the cheddar for her. She didn't give a shit. But now Chelly's isn't even there. But Chelly's bouncers were some of the rudest.
I heard that.
The rudest in the world. And some of them were really good guys. We know Mark E.P., the DJ,
Yeah.
one of the greatest guys in the world.
But it just sucks in that industry because it's that one asshole that ruins the rep for the whole establishment, just like we mentioned.
Yep. So, yeah, that was my fought at work experience. Yeah. Yours is at Disney World, so that's even crazier.
Yeah, I mean, it's supposed to be the happiest place on earth.
Same like Spirit, the happiest plane in the world.
Yeah. They must have taken a Spirit flight to Orlando, and that's what started it all.
You know what? Funny. A Spirit flight from Orlando was what broke up when me and one of my ex-girlfriend's relationship. When we took a Spirit flight there, had a fun time, but that flight back was a trip from hell. We didn't speak for 3 days. And
what happened?
I don't know what it was. I think we were just over that flight.
You don't know what it was?
Corey did nothing wrong.
Yeah, Corey. I don't even know.
He blamed Spirit for the cause of this breakup.
Here's what I did.
Okay.
She just got her hair done. I'm playing around in the pool, and I did the one thing you do not do with a black woman. You do not get her hair wet.
Got her hair wet.
I dunked her in the pool.
You dunked her.
Oh, man.
Damn, Corey, I even know that.
Yeah.
What was this girl's name, Corey? We need a moment of silence for her.
Right.
Oh, I'm going to tell you right now, that was the one point where if she would have called me a bitch, I would have had to take it because I felt like when she got done reaming me out.
Did the weave come out in the pool?
No, she just had her hair done. She wore it natural, but
Okay.
she got it done, and yeah.
As long as those tracks aren't coming out in the pool. That's when it gets embarrassing.
Yeah, you can't embarrass her on that level.
Well, thank you guys for waking up with the morning Woodward show this morning. Enjoy the rest of your Tuesday. I get to be on the same podcast Adam was on a couple weeks ago.
With
Yeah,
Spiro?
I'm going to hop on with Spiro. We should
Spiro
call
F?
you, man. Yeah. So
No, I'm cool.
I'll say hi to Justin tonight. And yeah, everybody else, have a great day. Corey, have a good one.
Hey, you too? Yeah, whatever.
Yeah, Corey, you're going to be in on that press conference today at
4 o'clock.
Oh, yeah, I'm ready.
Bring the heat, man. I expect a great question.
I'm going to bring the heat.
All right. Have a great day, Detroit. We'll
Thanks
talk
for
to you
watching.
tomorrow at 8 a.m.